Everybody else going out?
Yep, just keeping an eye on him for any spell casting. I'm ready. I'm like,
Although the
spell.
main piece of evidence that everything's based on is misbegotten evidence. That's fine. That's fine.
That's not going to come back, is it?
Look, it's all up to the Empress as far as I'm concerned. The law only matters as far as the judges are concerned, and she's the final judge in this land.
Did you have a search warrant? I don't...
Oh, we did. I think we did.
Oh, yeah,
if you go back and watch
We'll go back and check. Yeah, the tape probably has that. Yeah.
Definitely went from the restaurant to the search warrant store.
Yeah. Grail was knocked unconscious because she was too permitted to enter. Exactly. The lightning was like, you are 100% in.
She's like, wow.
Loud. I'm so shocked at how by the book this is. You guys escort Whitwer out with Cavis near the front, Karash also up there. Some of you keeping an eye on things. You pass 4 of the guardsmen that escorted you up here as you first enter the hallway leading from his study. And then as you head down the hallway, you see a smattering of other guards kind of milling about in a couple of the side rooms or maybe some of the common areas, kind of just watching you as you pass, kind of like, what? Like, this is not what we thought was going to happen here. But none of them make a move or anything. They're just kind of puzzled and watching as you head past, down the staircase, down the other staircase, into the foyer, out the front door, which one of the men unlocks for you and opens the door for you as you pass, and you step out into the entryway of the mansion, and Cavis kind of looks at you and says, am I taking him then?
I mean, I want to walk him all the way back to, I don't know, custody and whatever.
To the portal, right? That we took a portal to get here?
Correct. Over at the whatchamacallit.
I would assume that once he gets to the portal, like, he's not going to go to Waychester and then try... I mean, maybe. It's up to you, I guess.
What would be the point of staying here?
Yeah, that's a good point. None at all.
None.
I forgot that we don't have anything else here.
I mean, other than looking around, which we've said isn't the most important thing here, and could, in theory, make it look like we're trying to prey upon us removing him. So, like I say, we remove him, we get him back, and it's just boom.
In my head, this was close to the next Canadus. I think I totally made that up completely.
You're way away from it now.
Yeah. It's like way north now, right?
Yeah, it is. In fact,
it's way northwest.
Yeah, we'd be closer at Waychester, I think.
Much further now.
Yeah. Teleportation, it messes with you. Wait till you guys can do it yourselves. Lena can make you guys do it later on her own.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'm planning on it at some point.
Hell yeah. Cavis kind of nods. He goes, all right. Well, whoever's coming with me to Waychester then. He turns to Gothak. He says, I assume you won't be joining us then, friend? And Gothak says, no, I suppose I'd better stay here. Make sure everything in the town is okay. Don't expect anything to happen, but Mina and I can keep an eye on things, and at least till we figure out what's going to happen. I assume he'll be replaced eventually, but that might wait until after he testifies. I don't know.
Sorry, didn't get to bash any heads in.
Well, it was fun watching him squirm a little bit, and you get kind of a wry grin from Whitwer out of that. He says, I don't know. Safer this way. Cleaner.
Yeah, I mean, it means we were successful, right?
I hope so. It's another step. I'll give you that. And it can't hurt. But I don't know. I'll be more impressed when it's over. Let's put it that way. Cavis kind of gives him a nod.
Yeah, Tessin gives him a nod to keep the peace, Gothak. We trust you.
Well, worst case scenario, maybe if the guards act out, I'll get to smash a couple of their heads. You know, I'm always open to it.
They should go into a new business, those guys.
Gothak, is there anyone that he would entrust to be his lieutenant while he is gone?
Says, I don't think so. I mean, you could always ask him yourself, but in my time here, it's always seemed like it was him and no one else he trusted. So
yes, I would not believe he would tell me the truth regardless, so...
I agree. Might not be worth the breath you'd waste, but I don't think so, but who knows? He could have had some plan in place if this ever happened. I don't know, but either way, it won't affect the townspeople. I'll make sure of that.
Is there... Who will run the town when he is gone?
Well, usually there's a temporary ruler put in place until one's decided upon, but if the Empress has her hands in other matters, it may just be vacant for a little while. A week or two won't hurt anything. It'd be a longer thing that would be a problem, but the people who are in this town, Mina, myself, we can keep an eye on things. Make sure nothing major happens.
Don't let your guard down. I would suspect that it will be a very difficult time in the future for everyone, regardless of his presence.
Yes, I agree. That's why I'm not exactly jumping for joy that I'm seeing him let off, but we'll keep an eye on things. Mina's well connected. I'll speak to Father Orman as well. Even though he mostly keeps himself to the church, some of his followers also live in different parts of the city. They could keep an eye on things.
If you have any means of getting a hold of us or to getting word to the Empress, we will do what we can to help you if we are available.
I appreciate that. And if you ever come back, make sure you stop by. You're some of my best customers.
Yes. I should probably drink less.
Well, that wouldn't be any fun for my bottom line, but perhaps you're right, yes. All right, well, best wishes. Hope to see you again under a happier occasion. And he wanders off towards the center of town. I guess he'd probably walk with you guys because you're also going that direction for the most part. And then say his farewells at the Gilded Ale House where he's stopping by to see Mina.
We're not going to awkwardly just like walk next to each other after we...
Oh, I didn't know you're going this way too? Oh, I feel very silly.
Goodbye again, I guess.
Oh, well, I said a much better goodbye the first time. Just stick with that. Cavis then accompanies you to the solarium. And once inside, Father Orman is there in his resplendent yellow robes. Seems a little surprised to see you again, but you kind of had a feeling you might stop by again. Seems a little surprised to see you with Cavis. Seems particularly off-put by the fact that Whitwer Thorogood is also with you. Says,
got him.
I am honestly a little surprised. Not that I doubted you, just that I didn't think I'd see the day.
He saw reason, and thank goodness for it.
A blessing from the Shining One, then. That it would end peacefully and not the alternative. I suppose you'll be heading out, then.
Yes, we would like to head back to Winchester.
He nods. He says, well, I have the ability to activate that teleportation circle, so let's head to the back room, then, if you will. And he leads you back there. Familiar glyph on the floor. You've taken these several times now. As you gather on it, let's see. Cavis tells his men to return to their posts. Tells two of them that were already in the city just to stay here, awaiting further orders and just keep an eye on things as well. He says, I trust Gothak, but even so, I'm a little worried myself. So just make sure the people are okay. And the two Crusaders nod, a male one and a female one. They head off as well. Cavis also recognizes that's too many people for the teleportation circle. Couldn't all come with him even if he wanted to, but he's also confident he's got this. So it's just the four of you and Cavis and Whitwer and Father Orman in the room. The priest looks at you, Karash, and he says, as always, I appreciate what you've done. I hope you'll come back. I know you follow a different path than we do, but I think many of the gods are aligned in their hope that humanity ends up in the best shape possible. So you're always welcome within these walls.
I would be very grateful to visit you on less difficult terms. Perhaps one day all of this will be behind us and we will get to enjoy our time together instead of healing things and all kinds of political games.
I hope so. It would be nice to see people united instead of torn apart, but sometimes I wonder if it's a pipe dream. But I have faith. Maybe what's happened today is a step in the right direction. I think so. We'll see if it comes to pass. And he gives you a handshake, Crash.
I'll do the overly macho wrist grab and overly strong eye contact. But I'm going to be super gentle because he's way tinier than me.
Yes, and he is old.
Pushing not enough pencils.
Push more pencils. You wimp. And then he activates the circle, and you guys make your way back to the confines of the teleportation hub in Waychester.
Good.
Having arrived, Cavus says, well, I think our best course of action is to keep him here. We have the most guardsmen available here, as well as a couple members of the Alabaster Cabal that we could trust, at least keep an eye on things with some of their magics. I do think we need to keep him away from Faust.
Agreed.
Do me a favor. Put him in the worst cell that is permissible for nobility. Please.
I don't think that's
preferably
necessary.
With no toilet. Or food.
Treat him as you would an ally, please.
God damn it. You're right.
He says, all right. I suppose that's fair. We'll feed him and stuff too. You know, we're not in the business of torturing prisoners. So good news for you, Whitwer. And this is the most reveling in something you've seen from Cavus.
Yeah.
And Whitwer just kind of gives him a smirk, and he's like, yes, have your fun. But he's quiet after that. Says, well, what's next for you then? We'll keep an eye on him here. We have a little over a week to go before the moment of truth. Hopefully truth.
I might just... Okay, the thing is, Whitwer's still right here, right?
Yes.
So I'd be like, oh, we've thought of a thing here or a thing there, but...
We've got a few options we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
But we'll be sure to let you know, should we decide to leave.
That was a 21 on insight from Cavus. He gives you a nod. He goes, yes, I understand. Well, I wish you success in wherever your journey takes you next, and as always, if you need to get a hold of me, just reach out to any Crusader you can find.
We'll
I suspect I'm going to be busy in the next few days, but you have earned my trust, and should you need my assistance, I will come.
Thanks, Cavus.
But try not to kill anyone, please.
Man, you saw the restraint there. That was pretty good.
It was touch and go for a minute, but yes, at the end of the day, it went well.
And like as we walk away, I'm telling Tessie, like, I was nervous for no reason. You should have just said be smarmy. I would have been fine.
You know, sometimes you do possess that natural gift for this sort of thing that even I underestimate.
I'm just an asshole. You can say it.
The best kind of asshole, Isaac. The best.
I'm going to lean over and quietly whisper to Lena, totally outside of their ability to hear. They're kind of both assholes.
And I say, shh, don't let them hear. It'll wound their egos significantly.
That would be a very large wound.
Yes, we can't do that.
Hey, our egos are the only thing keeping this airship afloat, okay? So don't wound this.
I like how going in.
Hey, our healing spells keep you guys going. Let's not take away completely.
I like how going.
Or the Black Opal is an airship, and our egos are what keep it up there.
It's the air.
It's the helium. Yeah.
It's the hot air.
I like how going in, you guys were like, we're going to appeal to Whitwer's ego, and then when you got in there, you're like, fuck you, you're nothing.
Hard right turn, hard right. Let's go.
God.
So you guys make your way out of the castle and find yourself basically in Waychester. At this point, going on, let's see, teleporting probably early evening, maybe 6 o'clock or so. What would you guys like to do? What's next?
I have an idea for what's next. I say, unprompted by the DM. And I like this idea for two reasons. One, because it's important. Two, because by keeping myself so busy, I don't have time to think of Grail or my father in prison or really anything else. I say we go full head on to the next site of the Conatus.
Do you want to talk about some things, Isaac?
No, that's exactly what I don't want. I want to just go.
Well,
do things.
I believe it's on the. We talked about this before, right? That it's like on the peninsula, and it's like not even on the continent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's not really close. I don't know if we could complete it in a week. I'm concerned about the travel time and getting back. We shouldn't rush it. I don't want us to go not guns blazing.
You can,
but I guess
it's actually not out of character phrase.
I was gonna say it's not out of whack completely.
It's actually very in character.
As it turns out,
it's not an anachronism.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we should go in guns blazing. Quite
I will say.
aggressively.
We could ask for a guide to assist us.
You have a couple of people in this group that are, especially Tessian, who's well versed with Aramea as a whole. It's probably doable.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So it's on the peninsula. It's northeast of the last waypoint that you had was from Waychester. Fort Cross is not far from Waychester, and that's the point at which you cross the peninsula.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably take you a full day's journey to get across from Waychester to, oh God, what the hell is the name of the Ice City? Why am I blanking on it? Hold on.
Ice City.
Ice City.
Cool.
Hold on.
Was it Coldosa, or am I making that up?
I think you're making that up.
I think I'm making that up.
Chill. Freeze.
Cool. I don't know where I'm pulling that from. Someone on the internet tell me.
I'm in the wrong thread. Hold on. I'm in the newer one. I just gotta find. There it is. I gotta find my own world map.
So, Chris, what I will say while you're finding it is there
Frosthaven?
a teleportation that we could access from Waychester,
No.
even around this area? No? Okay.
We have to go to Fort Cross to cross, basically.
Yeah.
Into...
Frosthaven is not a big enough city. It's a big city, but it's not. The populace there sort of stays there for the most part. And Fort Cross doesn't have one by design because it's the military outpost, and they don't want people having easy access to Waychester from there.
So my main question is...
It is Frosthaven.
Yeah.
Fort Cross is... between the journey to Fort Cross and crossing that body of water, I have no idea what the name is, and I don't care to look up right now, like the strait that separates the peninsula from the mainland. It would probably take you a day.
Oh. That's not bad.
And then from there, you're not entirely sure how far it's going to be. It'd probably be a stronger sense once you're closer. But you did roll a natural 20 on that one.
I think, I have a note that says 200 miles. So.
Right. And that means it's probably another day from Frosthaven then.
Oh, okay.
Based on your rough understanding of Aramean geography and Tessian's maps that he now has that he can look at.
Just really quick, because I don't know the map. To Fort Crossing. Is there any circle that's like a half day from Fort Crossing? Like any way to save us time, or are we technically the closest circle?
So you can see here, and of course this map is available on our website if you've been following along with the campaign. Waychester is above where the mouse is there. It's that.
Okay.
And that's Fort Cross. There's not any other major cities really anywhere. It's the
there.
closest major city, if anything. You could always ask around Waychester and see if there's other villages and stuff, but as far as teleportation circles, you're hot-footing it.
So I'm just ready to, go now. But I understand there are those of us who value and need sleep, so we can leave tomorrow.
My only concern is we've no way of knowing how long this particular journey to the shrine or whatever it is out there will take. The journey to Frosthaven may not take us that long, but we would be out there in the wilds for the most part, trying to find a place that no one's been to in quite some time. There's no way of knowing how long that leg of the journey will take us. So I have some concerns, but it's possible we make good time and return in a matter of days.
I respect your hesitation. I would say let's monitor it. If we keeping track always how long it'll take us to get back to the point where we can return, and not giving ourselves a buffer. So if we know that we've traveled a day away from Frosthaven, not waiting until there's 1 day left and then returning. I understand it's of utmost importance for us to be at this trial.
Well, at the end of the day, I think it's best we leave it up to Lena, as this is the next step in her journey, and it's going to come down to whether or not you feel you're ready, Lena. If we get there and it's not the right time, then it'll all be for nothing.
That's a partial concern of mine. Tessian, you were studying a new source of magic, were you not?
I acquired some research, yes, and I can continue to flip through the texts and volumes I was given, especially if we'll only be gone in not a couple of days. It shouldn't set me back too much. I appreciate the effort, but I'm more concerned about your end of it, Lena, personally. Is there something you would rather do than head out on this next step of the Conatus, or are you ready for it?
I ponder that for a moment, and no, I don't know if there's much for me to do here. Maybe it would be best if we at least started. Maybe as we get closer I can get a better sense of where exactly the shrine is. I don't think it would hurt if that's what the group wants to do. Maybe we should.
We're on a roll. I mean, I'm down to keep it going. We can't lose. Everything's coming up Black Opal.
Yes. I think we should sleep on it. And we can discuss it tomorrow morning over breakfast.
Fair enough.
That is reasonable.
Okay. You guys still have accommodations set up at the Witch's Cauldron? That's the one in this town, right? Scroll down to Winchester. Yeah, Witch's Cauldron. Cool. Still have rooms set up there, care of the Empress, that are basically reserved for you, whether or not you're actually there, which has been hit or miss the last few days. Some days yes, some days no.
Yeah.
But you're able to kind of pair off into each of them, the two of them, and anything else you want to do tonight before rest?
I'm going to poke around at my medical textbooks that I totally didn't steal.
Definitely not.
I mean, Tessia might take a moment just to kind of talk with Lena and just, just sort of be like, hey, how are you feeling about all this? This, you've got a new form. It feels like we're going pretty fast. Is it too fast? How are things going? That kind of thing.
I kind of laugh and say, yes, it's funny that for so long, the journey was not sidelined per se, but there were other things that we were needing to address for the sake of the Empire and all that, and then we completed the shrine quite quickly, and now we already have a sense of where the next one is. I wonder if Aurelia had such maybe not easy time, but if it was as quick, I suppose. I don't know. It's hard not really knowing what she went through or what my grandmother went through in her Conatus.
I think the most important thing of this journey is that we go when you are ready. Don't mistake me for trying to stall or anything, but sometimes failure can come when people are unprepared, and there's no sense in rushing this. It is designed to test you, and part of that test is going to mean preparation, making sure you're ready, both on the outside and on the inside. So, I don't know. Perhaps meditate some. Search yourself. And if you feel you're ready, we'll put everything we can behind this, and we'll get it done.
I nod and I say it's good that you always have my back, no matter what we decide to do. It's reassuring as always, but yes, I think sleeping on it would probably be best. Especially after what we achieved today, maybe I should just take a moment to breathe and ponder it all.
We did something good today, but the struggle with Faust, as important as it is, does come second to the Conatus itself. I know it can get lost in all this, but we're trying to achieve something bigger than just one man and his own corrupt intentions. There are bigger things going on, and maybe he plays some part in them. But this is about you and your journey, and we're here to support you. Just remember that. There's nothing wrong with taking a couple days off and finding yourself before we set out again.
I nod and say thank you. You've given me much to think about tonight. I'll have an answer in the morning for certain.
Very well. It was just odd today, thinking that it had only been a matter of weeks since we had been in Falstock and everything went down the way it did. We've come a long way in such a short time. So
We have.
there's no sense in rushing it, I don't think.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I'll let you get some rest.
Thank you.
That's
Sleep well.
You too.
The end.
He'll go study. Open up a book.
Okay, make an Arcana check. Karash, a medicine check. That's right. It's not one of the intelligence ones for once.
My medicine's actually something I'm proficient in. It's so beautiful. Oh my god. It's a 20.
Natural? No. Okay, just total.
No,
Okay.
no, total.
Okay. All right. I was like, wait, what? You read the book in an instant. 24 for Tessian.
Yeah, for the Arcana check. 19 plus 5.
So the two of you read your respective books. Tessian, I forget where you were at because it's been forever. Had you finished the first one, or you were at least a pretty good chunk finished? I don't remember if you had actually
I
finished
believe I was like a book and a half in. I feel like I drew a picture of it, and I don't remember what I did with it.
It was in your notebook. You had a little like bar graph thing going. I don't know. If
I did, and it was like 3 little books, and I'm pretty sure I got decently into one, but now.
I don't think you were into the second one, but you might have finished the first one. We can always go back and check the tape, but
we can.
Anyways,
I don't know where I put it.
We'll worry about the progress later, but you make good progress.
Okay, good.
Karash, you also feel as though it's still slow going. Your proficiency with reading is vastly ahead of where it was 3 weeks ago, but it's still not exactly second nature. But even so, it feels like going through this, because you're already familiar with some of the techniques and the ideas in it, it kind of helps supplement the words you're not necessarily sure about. Like some of them you're like, you read them and you go, oh, like, okay, I didn't know what that was when I looked at it, but when I go through it, like, yeah, okay. And as a result, you also kind of get far enough into it where you feel like you're starting to grasp some different concepts. Haven't honed in on anything in particular yet, but it does feel like you come out of it going like, okay, like I'm learning more about the type of work I do and how I can use it to help people. Lena, I need you to make a nature check, assuming you're meditating.
Yeah. When did I send my letter to my grandmother, by the way?
I think 2 days ago.
2 days. Okay, so I should not be expecting a response, like, really at all anytime soon.
Because I think you sent it from here.
I think I did. Sounds like a thing.
So probably not.
Yeah.
Given how remote the Sowenwood is.
Yes. 15 nature check.
It doesn't really add anything new perhaps the sense is slightly stronger, but for the most part, you're still basically picking up on the fact that, yeah, if you're heading to the next co-native spot, it's going to be up in the cold tundra area, and it's probably 200 miles thereabouts northeast of your present location. The one thing that does help over the course of the meditation is not the sense of where to go next, but the feeling of connection to where you've almost felt a little out of sorts recently, especially since finishing the last leg in that last day or so. Like, you felt like something is off, but you feel more at peace with yourself tonight now. Not to the point where you feel like you could just turn into an earth elemental willy-nilly. Don't mistake it for a game thing. But just in general, like, being exposed to that much elemental presence at once sort of threw you off, and having a chance to center yourself tonight has made it so it's like, okay, I'm still me. I have control. I don't know about that form, but like we're okay. Things are in balance.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Isaac, you want to make some kind of check tonight?
No.
Okay.
I am interested in keeping myself busy. I can't remember the name of the person now. I'm going to have to go watch that episode, but he gave me some clues into our friend, who I also don't remember his name now. Like, that's how long it's been, even though I love him. So I might just tinker or practice shooting, which is probably a bad idea. Maybe practice...
Brothel.
Maybe practice... it's taking a walk under the moonlight. Basically, not sleeping.
That's fine.
At all.
The city's pleasant at night. Bright, as we've talked about, but when your eyes are adjusted to it, it's not that big of a deal. Although stupid white reflects constantly, but once you're accustomed to it, walking about the city, you have a lot on your mind, but it's still really nice weather out. Star-filled sky at night. Not a whole lot of people out and about. Town relatively quiet, as you've seen in a couple other past evenings, where there's not a lot of people who venture out at nighttime. Not a lot in the Noble District, but the rest of the city you can kind of wander about. And I think I've mentioned this before in a past episode, though it's been like 8 months, so God only knows. But sort of like in Timberbrook, it's almost weird because things seem perfectly normal, and yet even as you're trying to push it out of your mind, that deep down things are really not normal right now. But you wouldn't know it walking around the city. Everybody else seems to be living their day-to-day life without any difficulty. And you can eventually make your way back to the room, having walked out there for a bit, gotten some fresh air, tried to clear your head a bit, and go to sleep. So it's the anti-cliffhanger.
I actually am not going to probably sleep, and I know that that's like exhaustion and not getting stuff back, but just to let you know.
Okay.
But that's all.
I will say...
I mean, do it later. Sorry, I didn't mean to
you're fine.
Derail you.
Make a
perception check to spot the assassins.
Caffeine check.
Make a Constitution check with disadvantage, not a saving throw.
Okay. Oh, okay. So just click on Constitution, and then disadvantage. 8.
Yeah, as you try your best to sleep at some point, despite the fact that you tried to push them off, too many things running through your head, too many worries about what has happened and what's yet to come, and you do find it nigh impossible to sleep. Maybe you get an hour or so in there, but for the most part, it's just tossing and turning, getting up for a bit, trying to do anything it takes to get tired again. Doesn't really work out all that well. I was going to give you a chance to fade the exhaustion, but
oh, cool.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
So seemed fair since you were volunteering. I thought I'd give you a crack at it.
Yeah.
But no, it's a terrible night of sleep. You get fitful rest at best, and the next morning you're going to be feeling the effects of it.
Cool.
The next morning we'll decide where the group is headed next, what might be on their agenda, as they have about 8 days now until the trial of the century. And what they choose to do at that time, we'll find out next time on the Anachroschism.